Hello folks, you're very welcome to November's episode of Coláiste TV. We're sitting today with past student Emma Quirk, who finished the Coláiste in 2018, 2019?
18, yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
So thanks a million for
No bother, Gavin.
for volunteering to have a chat.
That was it, all right.
So Emma, I suppose the usual kind of thing is when anyone comes in, we talk a bit about their early career in the education system, as they say. Your primary, your Palmucca lady out the road there. Your primary school, and where did you go?
So I went to Care to the girls' school.
Care Girls' School. Very good.
No, I enjoyed it there now. I had same teacher 4 times while I was there, yeah. So
jeez, that would be unusual now.
Yeah, Miss Sheehan, so
wow.
she was lovely now, just as well
you got on.
we liked her though, yeah. I know, I had a good time now in primary school.
You enjoyed your primary school in there, yeah?
Yeah, it was a bit weird then when we came into first year though. Like obviously being an all-girls school, having no boys, you're kind of like
big change.
A different species when you come in. But I
for
suppose
sure.
now they're amalgamating down there is probably a good thing because I think like with the mixed schools, it more it reflects the real life. Do you know what I mean? So like that's the way it's going to be when you're outside school.
Yeah, a couple of people that I've spoken to, even in this series itself, have said the same thing. Like that, it's a very positive step that they're mixed because that's life, as you say.
Exactly.
For secondary, then obviously when people living out your way out Palmucca direction, like you're kind of nearly equidistance, Care, Cashel, Clonmel. I suppose you came here. Was there anything in particular that attracted you to the Coláiste over any other schools?
Well, I suppose like really they have such like a wide variety of subjects to choose from. Like for people who prefer the more practical subjects, like there's home ec, there's art, there's woodwork, all that kind of thing. And then like even the languages, there's 3 different languages to choose from, everything. So I suppose in first year
there's even
like,
4 now because Polish is added as well as English, as well as French, Spanish and German. There's Polish now, so you have 4 languages that you can pick.
Yeah, it's like I don't think many other schools would offer like you know such a wide variety. So no, I decided now we'd go with the Care, and I'm delighted because especially a lot of my friends from primary school. When I went to primary school down in Care as well, then you know, I have them all with me then as well.
And that helps a lot, particularly when you're going into secondary school. That has a big increase in your number from maybe 30 give or take in primary to suddenly 100 plus. Yeah. And tell me, do you remember what subjects did you pick to study at junior cycle? Your option subjects.
So I went with home ec. I went with French and business. They were the 3 of it, So
you had a nice balance in the kind of 3 of the different areas. And what would have been your subjects that you say overall, including options and core subjects, say what would have been the ones you would have really enjoyed at junior cycle level? All of them, of course, but in particular, I suppose.
Well, obviously the home ec was one that I always loved doing. Like even when I was in primary school, I didn't really know home ec existed, you know, because I love baking at home and interior design and all that, like. And especially the cooking and not so much cleaning up. But I enjoyed the cooking all along. So then when I found out I could do this in school, I was delighted. Like a lot of it is not common sense, but things you'd use in real life. So that was definitely one home ec. And I also really liked English as well. Like I love writing stories in primary school and going on doing that as well. I know I really liked them all, to be honest. Like I know some of them are a bit more work than others, but I think it's good to have a broad general knowledge.
You gave yourself a nice balance of different subjects there, even in your options.
Yeah.
And then I suppose you went on to transition year, and say we might come back to transition in a minute. But in senior cycle, then what subjects you pick? 4 subjects then to study.
So I stuck with the home ec and French, and then I added on biology and ag science. Okay,
very good.
Yeah, so I taught the kind of them 3, the biology, ag science, and home ec, like. Biology and home ec had a bit of overlap, and then the biology and ag science also had a bit of overlap. So they were actually.
So you were being very cute in terms of
exactly.
Cutting down on study. You could get catch a lot.
Work smarter now, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a you know it's a good idea, like you know? And say. So you went on, you studied them subjects again. What would have been your obviously home ec again? I suppose we probably should find out that you're currently studying as a home ec teacher up in Sligo, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Exactly.
But so in your senior cycle then, like what would have been, say, when you picked your subjects, I suppose you were being smart in that. A, you had an interest in them, but B, you were benefiting by the fact that there was areas that crossed into different curriculums.
Exactly. And there were ones that I did have an interest in as well, like home ec obviously I always loved, and then ag science, like we have a farm at home, so I thought, you know, I might give Dad a push in the right direction as well if he saw I was doing that. But no, I actually found that very interesting as well. And the biology then as well, because like when they have the overlap, it's a bit easier, like that you have the cover. And then French as well, like I enjoyed that. Like of course they were difficult at times, but you know when like the teachers were very helpful. When you needed the hand, like you just had to ask, and you know they do their best.
And say, was there any subject that you didn't do that you would, obviously you could only pick them 4? What do you think, if you could have included a 5th, what would it might have been, do you think?
What I've always would have loved to try, I think more like woodwork maybe, or something along that lines. Now I tried it in transition year, and I'd say like Mr. O'Brien nearly broke his heart, but just something like I like all those kind of hands-on things as well, just to try them.
And I suppose now that you mentioned coming back to transition, how would you say, what was your experience of transition, or did you find it a good year in terms of?
We had a ball now. I really like, even I was looking the last day at a list of what we'd done, and there was so much, like so much. We were really, really lucky. Like we went on a lot of trips as well. Like we went off to Delphi for 3 days. We went on a history trip up to Dublin, and we stayed the night.
Brilliant.
We climbed Croagh Patrick as well.
Great stuff.
And then we
Which is not easy.
No,
that's a fierce tough climb.
Yeah, I didn't know how I would make it up to the top, but like when you the whole gang together, like everyone
encourage
each other. They actually nearly help you get up the mountain, because it's like you kind of nearly go up one mountain, and then there's a bit of like a flat, and then you just look up and there's another one ahead of you, and I was like, oh, like how will you get up to the top? But actually once you do, then I'm sure delighted.
And the thing with that, I suppose, is like if you go up Galtee Moor here outside Care, you're up at a height already before you start, whereas you're at sea level by Croagh Patrick.
And up you go,
and it's so loose underfoot up near the top. It's a tough climb.
Very, but no, when you're the whole gang together now, the whole year, like everyone.
And what about the show then? What show did you do? You remember?
We did High School Musical last year. Yeah,
very good.
And that was great crack now as well. That was good. Like everyone got involved in that. Like that's the main thing I think with transition year is to, like, I signed up for everything because I said, sure, you want to get the chance once, you may as well do it. So most of the year now, in fairness, we all signed up, so we had a great time with that.
That's good. And I suppose then you've kind of touched on your different subjects and what you enjoyed and your transition. I suppose overall then, like, it's not too often we can say we had an All-Ireland champion in debating. Congratulations again. Phenomenal achievement. So extracurricular-wise then, obviously you were involved in a huge amount, I remember. What would be your different memories from the extracurricular side to your time in Coláiste?
I suppose transition year again was probably like I know there's such a huge variety of extracurricular in the school, like especially the sports and everything, but I think I've realised I'm better as a spectator at them than a participant, but there's so much, like, and especially transition year I really like made an effort to try and get involved, like try everything out. So we did a lot of volunteering in transition year. So we did the Goshka Award, and we did the Pope John Paul Award as well. Brilliant. So we'd go down in the town, and I went down to Gateway, the training centre down there, so it's for adults with like intellectual difficulties. And then we went to the Lions Club, the bookshop, and we went to the charity shop as well, and the daycare centre. I think we did a bit up at Mass as well, So no, I was delighted, and I actually then got a Garda Youth Award then from doing all them things, like. Brilliant. So like it was great. Like I would never have got any of them opportunities if I didn't sign up for them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the well done on the Garda Youth Award. I didn't know that though. And say with the debate, and then what kind of would you consider yourself a naturally argumentative person?
Well, at home they were definitely agree.
Very good.
It was perfect to win an All-Ireland for talking and giving out, they said. But no,